Hello, I'm Steph H. Barker and this is a Bookish Topics video. Today's video I'm going to be talking about male love interests in fiction. If you've read my review on my blog of The Ghost Files by April Baker, you'll see that I had a big problem with the men in that book. It was annoying how quickly she seemed to fall in love with them. They were just all so perfect. Everyone seemed to fancy her. So this video is mainly about what makes a good love interest. Number one, a good love-hate relationship. So an example of this would be Ron and Hermione in Harry Potter. One of the reasons that I loved the book so much is because of Ron and Hermione's fighting. It's one of those things that you think, how does he not know yet that she likes him? And they would fight over the most stupid things. She would tell him she liked him in little subtle ways. He wouldn't pick them up. He'd go off and kiss Lavender and do all this annoying stuff, and then she obviously got really angry and would attack him. It was a real will they won't they, and it kept me reading because even though he was mean to her sometimes, his heart was in the right place. Number two, they're soulmates. Now, for anyone that hasn't read the Fallen series, please put your fingers in your ear right now. So in the Fallen series, Daniel and Lucinda have been in love since the dawn of time, and she's forced to keep getting reborn whilst he has had the same continuous life, and every lifetime she somehow manages to find him and they end up falling in love. As cheesy as that is something that all of us secretly think, oh! And it makes us want to keep reading. Well, it makes me want to keep reading anyway. Number three, there needs to be obstacles. So for anyone that's read the Shiver series, they'll know that Grace and Sam have got some pretty big obstacles in between them. Again, a few spoilers here, but Sam is a werewolf and he only changes when it's cold. And so they can only spend the summer together. The minute the temperature starts to dip, he's turned into a werewolf. They get together quite early in the book and you're really rooting for them, but then you find out that werewolves only have a limited life. Knowing that there's this couple that are perfect together and would just be amazing, but there's this big obstacle. It's something that keeps us reading and keeps us enthralled in the story. Number four, competition. Something that kept me reading The Hunger Games was the love triangle between Peter, Katniss and Gale. There were points in that series where I really didn't know who she was going to choose. And to be honest, if I had been in that situation, I don't know who I would have chosen. Because you had Peter, who is sweet, caring, lovable, honest, and he does everything possible to protect her, and he just loves her so deeply. He's loved her since he was a kid. You know, he threw her bread, and you just, he's just adorable. You know, he's the kind of man that you'd want to marry. But then when he was under pressure, he sided with her competition. He sided with the people who wanted to kill her. So there's obviously that side. And then there's Gale. Gale is brave, he's stubborn, he's strong, he's passionate, and he's not afraid to fight for what he wants. And he brings out this sort of power in her, and he makes her really think about what she's fighting for. Both Gale and Peter bring out some amazing traits in Katniss, and so you kind of, in a weird way, want her to have both of them, but you know that can't obviously happen. And so having equal love interests in that triangle, you know, you really don't know Peter or Gale, you don't know who she's going to pick. And if we knew who she was going to pick, then you wouldn't really be interested in the love triangle. And finally, number five, they need to have flaws. I don't care if the love interest is the most handsome guy in the world, he's got to have a flaw. Otherwise, he's not a real guy. Otherwise, how can I sort of compare him to real men in the world? Even if his only flaw is that he's a vampire. As long as he sees that as a flaw, as long as we can understand that it could be a flaw, obviously sucking the blood from everyone, maybe killing your family, that's a bit of a flaw. So it's really important that they have a flaw. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think makes a good love interest. And let me know if you've got any favourite couples from books, or if you've got any suggestions on future topics I could do a bookish topic blog on, or if you've just got any books that you would think I would enjoy from what I've said that I've read. I'll put the links below for the Goodreads pages of the books that I've mentioned. And as usual, if you enjoyed the video, please like it and subscribe.